Good morning. Today we're going to do the activities for the lessons for Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So we're going to start with science and we're going to talk about animals. Then we're going to do a little bit of math where we'll practice some subtraction problems. Then we'll go into a different type of math and begin an introduction to measurement unit. And last, we will do ELA, where we're going to read 2 short stories and talk about what happened in them. The short stories this week in ELA are related to our social studies topic for the week, which is responsibility at home. So after we're done reading the stories, we'll talk a little bit about social studies as well. All right. So if you've been doing science for us this week, you noticed that we've been learning about animals. So today we're going to read through a little bit about different needs that animals have. So first I want you to look around the page and I want you to tell me, what do you see on the screen? Yeah, you might see a fish, you might see a bear, and you might see a reindeer. And you notice these are all different types of animals. Now the page says animal needs. Food and water. Animals need food and water to grow and stay healthy. Some animals eat plants. Some eat other animals. Still, others eat both plants and animals. Over here it says air. Animals need oxygen, a gas in air. Land animals use their lungs to breathe in oxygen. Some water animals, like whales, have lungs. They breathe air. Fish do not have lungs. They use gills to get oxygen. So now we're going to go back and look at the animals in the pictures. First, we have a deer or a moose. Do you think the moose has lungs to breathe in air like us? Or do you think they have gills? You're right. A deer has lungs like us. Now let's look at a black bear. Do you think the black bear has lungs to breathe in air? Or do you think it has gills? Yes, the bear has lungs like us. And last but not least, you see a fish. Do you think the fish has lungs to breathe in air like us? Or do you think they have gills? That's correct. Fish have gills. Now I want you to look at the pictures on this page. What do you see? There's a mama bird, some baby birds, and some other type of animals down here. What are the baby birds in? That's right, that's called a nest. And what do they do in the nest? They live there. That's their home or their shelter. Most animals need shelter. A shelter is a place where an animal can be safe. An animal may use a plant as a shelter. It may dig a hole in the ground. It may even use another animal as shelter. One animal that does this is a clownfish. So the baby bird's shelter is the nest. Down here are some prairie dogs. They live in a burrow underground. This is a beaver. A beaver builds its home or shelter out of wood or sticks. And then over here is a skunk. A skunk lives in a den. Now I want you to look closely at what the skunk is in. What does that look like? Yeah, it looks like the inside of a tree trunk. And that's right. That's the skunk's home. Now that we're done talking about some of the needs of animals, now I want you to draw a picture on your piece of paper of a need that both you and an animal might share. For example, today we talked about food, we talked about water, we talked about air, and we talked about shelter. What's a need that both you and an animal share? When you're done drawing your picture, I want you to write the word of the need that you drew. Remember, some needs that we discussed today were food, water, air, and shelter. After you're done drawing your picture, you can think to yourself and sound out the word. If you drew food, say oo, d, oo, d. If you drew water, what are the sounds in water? W, ah, t, water. If you drew the need of air, sound out the word air. A, a, In that word, the vowel says its name. And to make a vowel say its name, you have to have how many vowels? 2. So the first one says its name and the second one says nothing. A, air. And then the last option was shelter. Sh, F, O, T, shelter. So when you're done drawing your picture, I want you to write the word of the need that you drew. Food, water, air, shelter. Great job. Now we're going to move on to math. For math today, we're going to do some practice subtraction problems. We're going to look at the amount of cubes we have in all. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. How many cubes do we have? That's right, we have 3. So write 3 on your paper. So on your paper now, you should have the number 3 written. Let's read the rest of the problem. 3, what is this sign called again? Oh yeah, minus sign. What does minus mean? To take away. So 3 minus 1 equals, so on your paper you should have 3 minus 1. 1, 2, 3. How many are we taking away? 1. So cross 1 cube out. How many cubes do you have left? That's right, you have 2 left. So 3 minus 1 equals 2. Great work. Let's look at number 2. Number 2, let's count how many cubes we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first number is 5. 5 minus 4. How many do we need to cross out? We need to cross out 4. If you cross out 4, how many are left? 1. That's right. 5 minus 4 equals 1. Now we're going to do the ones on this page. Let's count how many cubes we have in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. 5 minus 3 equals, how many are we taking away? We're taking away 3. So you need to cross 3 out. If you cross out 3, how many do you have left? You have 2 left. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. Now for this next problem, I just want you to look at the screen and we'll talk about it. What do you see? You see some 10 frames and you see some numbers and blank spaces. So for number 2, they want you to write numbers in numerical order. Numerical order means you say the next number that comes in the sequence. For example, numbers 1, 2, 3 are in numerical order. So if we start at 5, what number comes after 5? If you're not sure, you could also count the dots in the 10 frame to figure out the answer. So 5, 6, 7. What goes in this blank? What comes after 7? If you're not sure, you could count the dots in the 10 frame. 8. 8 comes after 7. And then 9. Good job. The last question on this page is a refresher on addition. How many cubes do we have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 cubes all together. Now I want you to look closely at the cubes. Do they all look the exact same? Some are dark and some are light or white. So, to do this problem, you need to count the dark ones and put that number here, and count the light ones and put that number here, because the dark ones plus the white ones make 8. All right, go ahead. Are you ready? Let's look. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark ones, and 1, 2, 3 light ones. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. Great job. Now we're going to move on to do an introduction to measurement. First, we're going to look at some pictures and some terms. In this first picture, you see a blueberry and an orange and an arrow. The word pointing to the blueberry is the word lighter. A blueberry is lighter in weight than an orange. So if a blueberry is lighter, an orange is heavier. Now down here you see 2 cube trains, a blue and a yellow. And you'll notice that they're the exact same height. Now over here we have 2 peppers. There's an arrow with a word pointing to the bottom pepper. The bottom pepper is longer than the top pepper. The bottom is longer than the top is shorter. Down here, it's hard to see, but there's a boy holding two different books, and the books are the same weight. Once again, in this picture, we see two cube trains, but they're pointing a different direction. They're going from left to right. So they're measuring length instead of height. And the green and the orange are the exact same. So these cube trains are the same length. Down at the bottom, you see two flowers, a pink and a yellow. There's an arrow pointing to the yellow one. The yellow one is taller, so if the yellow one is taller, the pink one is shorter. And last but not least, you see two pencils. The top one is shorter, so if the top one is shorter, the bottom one is longer. Now I want you to look at this page. What do you see on the page? You see a purple pencil and a green pencil. Which one is longer, the purple or the green? Yes, the purple pencil is longer than the green one, and the green is shorter than the purple. Now, we are going to talk more about long and short. What do you see on this page? Let's look at number 1 in the red apple. Yes, there are two cube trains. One of them is colored and one of them is not. What do you notice about the two cube trains? The red one is shorter and the not colored one is longer. Let's look at number 2. How many cubes are in the cube train under number 2? Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cubes. Now I want you on your paper to draw a cube train that is longer than 4 cubes. How many cubes are you going to put in your cube train to make it longer than 4 cubes? If it's longer, the number has to be more than or greater than 4. You could do 5. You could do 8. You could do 10. Or you could do whatever you want, as long as it's more than or greater than 4. This is mine. I chose to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did you do? What did you draw? Now let's look at number 3. How many cubes are in the cube train under number 3? 1, 2, 3. Now you need to draw a cube train that's longer than 3. How many cubes are you going to put in your cube train? You could do 4. You could do 5. You could do 6. What did you do? Now we're going to read a short story related to our social studies and ELA topics for the week. Remember, in social studies, we're talking about responsibility in the home. And in ELA, we're talking about chores you can do, which are jobs that you do at home to help out your home. I have a book, I have a book, I have a book, I have a book. And my book has a front cover, and my book has a back cover. My book even has a spine, and I know that a spine helps hold the pages together. And my book also has a title, and I know that a title is the name of the book. Now let's count how many words are in this title. Remember that words are groups of letters separated by a space. 1, 2. There are 2 words in this title. If I open up the page, I'm brought to the table of contents. Now, this book has 1, 2 stories in it. We are going to read the second story today. So what page do we need to go to? In the tens place, there's a 3. So that tells us it's 30. And in this ones place, there's a 2. So we're going to page 32. Great job. Now let's look at the title on page 32. Do you recognize any words? Yes, the first word is the, and the last word is up. Now let's sound out the middle word. Cool. Then there's 2 vowels. Remember, the first one says its name and the second one says nothing. E, clee. And the last letter is in. In makes the sound. E, n. E, n. Clean. You're right, the word is clean. The clean up. Now we're ready to read the story. When can we go to the park? Anna asks. We have to clean up the kitchen first, says Dad. That is our new rule. Let's all help to clean up, Gabe says. I'll wash the dishes, volunteers Lewis. Gabe carefully dries the dishes. Anna puts the dishes away. Teamwork gets the job done faster, says Mom. Dad frowns. Look at all that mud. Mom mops. Gabe helps. Anna picks up the toys. Lewis pulls Ace's leash. Time for your bath, Ace, he says. Everyone starts working faster. The kitchen shines. We did it, Gabe cheers. Let's work together to keep the house clean from now on, says Mom. We can make a chores chart, says Anna. The family fills out the chart together. At the park, the family finds a nice spot in the shade. Lewis kicks a ball to Ace. Oh no, but it is too late. Another chore. Everybody laughs. They will all give Ace another bath later. What was the story about? You're right. The whole family works together to clean up. And what did they end up making? Do you remember? We don't remember. We can always look back in the story. They work together to make this. This is a chores chart. Remember that this week, one of your assignments for social studies is to make your own chores chart or a list of chores that you do. Well, that's all for Wednesday's lesson. Now we're going to get started on Thursdays. Thank you.